I've curated 26 things to do this year so you could become her. And it isn't just random, useless advice, nor boring stuff, but things that will sharpen your mind, help you regulate your emotions, and build confidence, romanticize that life of ours, create structure and a system that will help you embody your future self right now. So I am genuinely excited for this video because I will also be implementing those stuff with you. So let's hop in this journey together. Mind and emotional regulation. So first things first. Once you wake up, we're going to be doing the stream of consciousness journaling, aka morning pages. And what this does exactly is that it helps you clear everything out before you start your day. Because whenever you wake up, you just notice that there's so much on your mind and you're usually anxious about the day. And there's just so many thoughts swirling in and out. And the morning pages, it helps create an outlet for you to release everything out from your system before starting the day. So here's how it works. Once you wake up, you're going to grab a pen and paper, preferably not your phone. Okay, so grab your journal, notebook, whatever, and dump everything out. Like just vomit the words from your system onto the paper. So like first thing that comes to your mind, any creative ideas, any worries, any anxieties, even feelings, just let it all out. And preferably like 3 full pages, but do whatever you want. Like don't stress. Like sometimes I only like write half a paper. And if you're asking yourself, I have nothing to write, that is something. Write it down, okay? Write that you have nothing to write. Second, track your energy, not just your habits. Okay, so the it girl, yes, she tracks her habits and tasks, but she also tracks what drains her, what energizes her, and she's very in tune with her emotions. And this isn't even about letting your feelings decide whether you show up or not. No, tracking your energy. It allows you to notice what supports your habits and what not. Because if your environment, certain behaviors you do, like quietly drains you, then discipline, it becomes harder to sustain. So here's what to do. You're going to list down the top 10 energy drainers and top 10 energy givers. Like they could be anything. There could be habits or small actions that gives you energy, or they could even be mindset shifts or quotes. I even have quotes in my list that gives me energy and like helps motivate me. Third, upgrade your emotional vocabulary. What does that even mean? Something I learned through psychology is the power of naming your emotions. So are you even aware that most of us can't name our emotions and what we're feeling right now? Like we sometimes confuse emotions with thoughts. For example, I feel bad or I feel terrible about X and Y. Those aren't emotions, bad and terrible. And the moment we put a right word to an emotion, it helps you in many different ways. So first of all, it helps you pause before responding automatically, because now you get to choose how to respond. And that like slows down your reaction. And it helps you pinpoint the real issue, because being angry is different from being disappointed, and being anxious is different from being overstimulated. So like there are many upsides to this, and it helps you like regulate your emotions better, because now you're able to decide how to respond rather than being controlled by your emotions. And the tool to help you better identify your correct emotions is the emotional wheel. Fourth, 1 hour of digital free time. So put that phone, iPad, laptop down, put every digital product down, and give yourself space to think. Because the constant overstimulation and overconsumption of media doesn't give you space to think or just exist without any input, okay? So this hour is exactly for that. Just existing with boredom and just trying to get comfortable with being bored again, because our brains is fried. Fifth, a full day of no phone, or a half day if you can't do that. So this is more of a reset that I try to incorporate weekly. A half day with no phone will try to break your automatic habits of like constantly reaching out for your phone, okay, and like helps reset your attention span. And just a reminder of how mental space you gain when you're not constantly overstimulated. So speaking on that, the Art of Stillness book, number 6, is to read that book. It emphasizes what points number 4 and 5 are trying to do, which is creating stillness and like mental quiet in a world full of stimulation, getting comfortable with boredom in a world that is constantly loud. So I totally recommend this book because stillness is important right now in the world that we are living in. Mind and cognitive upgrade. 7. Inner monologue ritual. So I actually don't call it that. I call it daily writing practice using ChatGPT as a prompter to write a 500-word essay. but inner monologue ritual sounds way cooler, so let's go with that. So it is really simple. You use ChatGPT as a prompt generator to help you to ask you a question to help you reflect. So it can be about anything. Tell ChatGPT to write you a prompt about psychology or in your field of work or a political opinion or even could be a philosophical view. While you don't need to fully perfect it, it's better if you do, because this practice it will help you express yourself more clearly and organize your thoughts and articulate it even better. And over time, this will translate into a clearer, sharper mind. 8. Rephrase what you consume in your own words. So I didn't have a better name for it, so let's go with that. And this one is for the scroller babes. So I can see you. So if you're going to scroll and consume content all day, at least make it work for you. Because watching educational content, whether it's on TikTok or on YouTube, isn't actually going to make you smarter. You'll just end up forgetting it. So from now on, whatever you consume it intentionally. So if something hits, just pause and go into your notes app and just rephrase what you've learned in your own words. Because if you consume content and can't mentally retrieve it, then you haven't actually benefited anything from it. So rephrasing it in your own words will help reinforce that content in your brain and will help you apply it if it's something to be applied rather than you just absorbing it. Identity and confidence. 9. One thing outside your comfort zone per month ritual. Preferably once a month, okay? Pick something outside of your comfort zone. It could be something as simple as going to a cafe alone or something big like going to an event. Any sort of activity that isn't part of your routine. The purpose of that is to expand your sense of identity and build real confidence and prove to your brain that you're capable of more than you actually think. 10. Future self embodiment day. So that is one of my favorite practices because there's a gap between your current self and your future one, and we don't want to bring notice that there's a gap. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna embody her for a full day. When she wakes up, how she decides, what she eats, how she goes through her day, and how she shows up. So instead of keeping your future self as that idea, as that holy entity that you want to embody, we're going to be embodying her in real life right now. So if it seems intimidating, which it might be, just treat it as an acting exercise. So this practice, it will give you alignment on what habits, routines, or behaviors that actually aligns with your future self and which ones don't. Romanticizing. 11. Solo rituals. Solo rituals are moments you schedule with yourself that will be non-negotiable, and that could be either going on solo dates or going to a cafe alone and studying or spending time by yourself. Because when you spend time alone by choice, that helps build trust in your own presence and helps you stop relying on external stimulation and external validation to feel fulfilled. And over time, this will help you feel more present, confident, and independent, whether you're alone or with other people. 12. Document your day, because we be living our lives without actually realizing that those mundane moments are worth revisiting later on, whether it's you grabbing coffee from your local shop, whether you're just studying, or whether you're reading and having a good time by yourself. Because when I scroll through old photos and videos, I realized that those ordinary moments held meaning that I didn't quite notice at the time. So documenting your day, whether it's through photo dumps or vlogs, will help with memory building and will cultivate gratitude. And if you want to go the extra mile, you can even share them if you have a spam account or if you want to share them privately. And a few years from now, you will thank yourself and you will thank me. Beauty and maintenance. 13. Weekly high maintenance to be low maintenance routine. So this needs no further explanation because looking good raises your standards. We all know that. And dedicating one day a week to taking care of yourself will remove friction throughout the rest of the week. And when you feel prettier, you naturally push harder. 14. Getting ready every single morning, especially if you're staying home. Get out of your pajamas and wear something that will signal to your brain that you've done sleeping and that the day has started. What you wear affects your mental state and how you show up, and changing out of your sleep clothes will help shift your brain from rest mode to productivity or to presence mode. And it's a small action, but trust me, it makes a big difference. Life systems. Regular resets. So mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual resets. And you're probably thinking that we've already done our New Year resets, but resets should not be tied to one moment in the year. We should occasionally do it. I believe in doing mini resets throughout your year whenever you feel that you're overwhelmed or whenever you feel misaligned and that you're just very chaotic. It's about recalibrating instead of pushing through the chaos. And if you haven't done a reset yet, I've got a whole other video dedicated just to that, with a clear checklist and prompts that will walk you through exactly what to do step by step from start to finish. 16. Weekly review and reflection check-ins. At the end of every single week and before the start of the new one, you gotta review and reflect on what worked and what didn't. The review starts with achievements. You note down every task that was done, even if it was small. Then comes down the underachievements, where you note down what wasn't done or forgotten or what didn't fit into this week. Next, you decide which tasks need to be carried over into the following week. The review also includes a fitness log where you track what kind of movement was done, and it also includes a highlights where you capture moments worth remembering. So this practice will help you close that week, seal it, put it behind you, and move forward without needing to look back again. 17. Creating a monthly personal curriculum. You've probably heard about the monthly curricula on TikTok, where people pre-plan lists of books, resources, or any topics they want to learn about. And personally, for me, just choosing one main focus for the week is more sustainable. So this is where you choose a topic of interest to deepen your knowledge on something or just a skill. Because mostly the topics we're interested in, we just touch upon it briefly. Rarely do we go fully in depth into it. So we will narrow our focus and create depth, because depth is rare. 18. 24-hour breakdown. This is one of the most important things that you must do. Like, have you actually reviewed how you spend your time? Where those 24 hours actually go, and how many of them are wasted without you even noticing. So this practice is very simple, okay? Grab a paper and split it into 24 boxes, aka 24 hours. So each square represents 1 hour. Not every day will look the same, so just write down what you usually do. So 8 boxes will probably be for sleep, another 8 for either work or uni, and 2 for eating, and another 2 for, studying. Now look closely at the rest of the boxes. Where does that time actually go? So that practice, it helps you zoom out and analyze and review what you do in your day-to-day life and where most of your hours are spent doing. And it makes wasted time now more visible. And once you once you spot which hours are spent you just wasting them, is when you decide what to do with it. 19. Prioritize intentionally, or aka the Eisenhower matrix. Not everything that asks for your attention is actually important and needs immediate prioritization. No, a lot of the things are just loud. Sometimes tasks, they feel urgent, but they don't really move your life forward. So this system works using 4 simple boxes. You have things that are important and urgent, those you do first. Important but not urgent, those you plan and protect time for. Urgent but not important, those you delegate or limit. And things that are neither urgent nor important, those you remove completely. Important things aligns with your long-term goals and growth, and urgent things just demand your immediate attention. And prioritizing that way, it helps you stop responding to anything and everything and start choosing where to allocate your time and energy. 20. If then planning for your habits. The it girls are strategic. They don't just set their goals and habits. No, they set backup plans. They prepare for obstacles before they even happen by using the if then strategy. So it's really simple. You just pre-plan what you do when you're at your worst. So if I miss my morning workout, I will go on an evening walk, or I will do a 10-minute workout at home. And if I feel unmotivated and I don't want to do a task, then I will show up for at least 5 minutes. So this removes the decision making you'd have to do when you're at your worst and just makes life and habits easier to maintain. Romanticize consistency, not intensity. This one isn't something you do, it's a mindset shift. So most people, they go all in for a short period of time and they do everything perfectly and they do more than they have to do till they burn out. So we want to avoid that. So we will romanticize showing up every single day, with small, achievable tasks over dramatic effort. Because consistency builds momentum and is actually what changes your life. 22. Keystone Habit. I've talked about that topic earlier in one of my older videos, but it's worth mentioning right now. So, a keystone habit is different from a normal habit. A keystone habit is a habit that will create a positive ripple effect in other areas of your life. So, for example, going to the gym early in the morning, that will force you to wake up early, eat healthily, and get movement in your day, and overall just be more productive in your day. And once you commit to that habit, those other areas we've mentioned will improve at the same time. So that is the key difference. Atomic Habits. This book is life-changing. It reframes how you see discipline. It focuses on identity-based habits rather than goal or outcome-based. So who you want to become rather than what you want to achieve. And that is more sustainable. So instead of saying, I want to work out 3 times a week, no, you say, I am someone who takes care of my body. And then you establish that identity by sustaining small, consistent actions rather than relying on motivation and extremes to do that. So I totally recommend that book, Atomic Habits. And if you want to purchase it, I have a link down below. Reflection and Future You. 24. Write a letter to your future self to open at the end of December about what you hope she's proud of and what you want her to remember. The purpose is to set the intention for this year and have something to reflect on at the end of it. 25th. Future You rules list. One thing to do is to create a short rules list for your future you, which is you right now. Not goals, but rules, things that you don't negotiate on anymore. So this could be how you treat yourself or how you talk to yourself, so your internal narrative, or how you make decisions, what you no longer will tolerate. So think of it as a personal code you will live by as her. So some examples could be, I don't chase what drains me, or I will not abandon myself to please others, or I choose consistency over intensity. So whenever life feels overwhelming or just confusing, you will go back to those rules. Hold yourself accountable together. So this 26th thing to do is on you. Comment one thing you will commit to doing this month and let me hold you accountable. And give me a date so I could check back in with you. Because let's use humiliation to hold us accountable. Because when we say things out loud and announce it, it makes you more likely to follow through. So let us hold each other accountable. I will be replying to every single comment in that video, and that is a promise. So we are done. We've completed the 26 things to do, and you don't have to do everything at once. No, for me, I will pick one focus every single week or month if it fits. So pick one thing and start there and let it compound. And if you are becoming her, it's not about you doing more. Remember, it's about you showing up consistently every single day with small, achievable tasks. And I'll be right here doing this with you because it is a journey that we'll embark on together. And I'll see you in the next one.